Hey guys, this is a video response to Icy Rhythms. Look at me coming up on YouTube making vid responses now. One day I'll actually get a camera and it'll make this stuff much easier. But anyway, I think one of the main things killing the fun of YouTube for a lot of people is repetitiveness. The same video over and over again to the point that you can almost damn near quote it. I know I'm not the only person who can see a video and say, I know exactly who this video will piss off and what they will say in response. Or even watch a video and depending on who makes it, know exactly what will be said. I think it's become a repeated pattern, and after a good 3 or 4 years, it's hard to stay entertained by the same stuff. It's why I try to make my vids over something different each time. I figure people get bored of hearing the same thing over and over, and I really don't blame them. It's also why I try to stay away from defending the PS3. Two things keep me from doing so. One, if I defend the PS3, then I'm simply going to be saying the exact same things people have already heard time after time for years. In other words, I won't be able to say anything that no one hasn't already heard. Number two, as far as I'm concerned, the PS3 doesn't really need defending because for me, it's the best console. The day I start defending the PS3 is the day I think that the PS3 needs defending, and is the day I don't like it anymore. To me, there's only so many ways you can say this console is the best before you start repeating yourself, and there's only so many ways you can say this console sucks before you start repeating yourself. So I think the YouTube boredom comes both ways. Those who watch the videos get bored of seeing the same thing over and over, and those who make the videos get tired of the same comments left over and over. However, what I always wondered, and maybe you can answer this, how did a topic like PSN being down suddenly become more interesting than a topic of a new console? To me, when people were talking about the new Nintendo console, things were fresh and new. But once PSN went down, the bashing came back, and YouTube went right back to the repetitive state it was in. And when PSN was down longer than 24 hours, I'm sure some in this little circle knew the big bashing was on its way. You knew who was going to bash it, you knew who was going to defend it, and a lot of people pretty much knew how they would bash or defend it. The faceless people you're talking about, hopefully I'm not one of them, as far as I can see, aren't going anywhere. Their hatred for certain people and things those people say keep them here. And their desperate need to hear someone speak positively about whatever it is they like is also needed. You'd think people at a certain age would say to themselves, wow, I can't believe I acted that way as a kid, but oh well, that's what childhood is all about. But instead, it's like people said, childhood ain't got shit on me. Now I'm going to show people how to really be stupid. But I do think people that are starting to get bored of YouTube are more bored of the repetitiveness than anything else. If anything happens in the gaming world, we know who will make the videos, we know what they will say in those videos, we know who will troll, we know who will respond to those trolls, and we know how they will respond to those trolls. We know who'll say fanboy this, fanboy that, and butthurt this and butthurt that. Most people know this to the point that they can damn near quote it. Assume tomorrow we hear that Uncharted 3 will get delayed till next year. Right off the bat, I bet you can make a list of who will laugh, who will rub it in people's faces, you know who will defend it and say the delay is a good thing, you know what type of comments will be left in the comment section of each video, and probably even know what each video will say. This is why when I see videos of people that seem like they had no idea people would take PSN's downtime as a way to attack, I get confused. As if to say to myself, did they really not see this coming? So the gaming portion of YouTube, or at least the little circle, becomes this giant area of repetitiveness. And it seems that the biggest form of entertainment, sadly, is trolling, which I'm guessing is why people found it more entertaining to laugh at PSN being down instead of talking more about the new Nintendo console. So I don't know if the boredom comes from seeing the same faces, or if the boredom comes from hearing the same faces repeat the same exact thing. To me, I see, in a way, this little gaming circle has become that old TV sitcom that you've seen so much that you know what every episode is all about.